Yeah, Bandeli L in the house. Aqua Ghana. Bitcoin ballin'. Bring it to you raw. Here we go. Here we go. Bitcoin ballin', gonna chat callin'. What you need, baby, I got you. Bitcoin ballin', Aqua we all in. It's that time.
Boys straight draining threes over here, my dude.
We're ballin', we're ballin'.
You know, at one time I made 23 threes in a row.
Get the hell out of here.
Stop it right now.
That was the worst.
What's more believable, David making 23 three-pointers in a row or Robin rolling 77 sevens in a row on the craps table?
Are you telling me you're doubting my historic 77-7 rolls in a row?
I think that's a good
At
start.
Caesar's Palace crap table?
That is a good start. What is going on, Crypto fam? Happy Friday. Welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. We are coming at you from our studio in Sin City, Nevada with another one of our live shows. Our last of the week. We're sad, but we're excited. Anyways, before we get into content, quick disclaimer, nothing that's said on this channel should be taken as financial advice. So please, as always, do your own research. With that being said, allow me to introduce you to my second favorite co-host, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, and we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do the live streams. We also do the deep dives.
What's wrong with you today?
This the live stream, though? Check out the deep dives. I'm on coffee.
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
Two,
Right?
Super dramatic
I'm on
today.
coffee number 2.
Oh, man.
And then lastly, if you could help us out, you could take a moment, hit that the like button. We only got 4 likes and 12 people in here. What the hell wrong with y'all?
We need to do a sound effect. Dun, dun, dun.
YouTube told us we can't flex on the people, so we're not telling you to hit the like button. But if you would like to hit the like button,
If you like
because
the
you
video.
like the video,
Right.
there you go.
There's a lot of things.
They really tell you that?
Yeah. So,
And then, if you ain't subscribed yet and you would like to catch more of our content on a regular basis, hit the subscribe button.
but
And
only if you want to.
And if you would like to be notified when we post a video, there is a notification bell on the bottom right-hand side.
Only if you like to, though.
Now,
Don't hurt yourself doing it.
Yeah.
all right, so
We also got, wait, hold on. We got, I said my second favorite co-host, Robin. My first favorite co-host, we got Eddie in the house. Eddie, what's up, my dude? You all right, bro? You're on coffee too?
Yeah, I'm on coffee too.
Jesus Christ, we're all hyped up. The only normal one in the studio today is going to be our producer, Rocco.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy, Eddie.
What's up, Eddie?
How's everyone doing today? Happy Friday. I'll give a couple shout-outs in the chat. Who we got here first? Talks. What's with the taco? Is that, did I miss a
Talks
joke?
Taco,
Oh,
TT.
okay, all right. Why You Loud, Brokioshi, Agosaurus, that's a hard word. Michael Allen, Chef Murder, what's up? Who else? Olga, how you doing? Who else we got in here? Sin City Crypto,
Sean.
Sir Babe, Nashawn, Russell, as always, and Daniel. What's
Damn,
up, guys? How we doing?
Daniel's a fan, bro.
Daniel likes you.
Daniel's a homie, bro.
Daniel's my boy.
Yeah. He's in my DMs, bro. Go back.
It go down in the DM. Guys, Robin, you want to give the...
All right, we got to shift. Gears here.
That's some bad news, guys.
All right. First of all, got a different format here. When we open up the club, when we reach 30 viewers, we open up the club. And what happens when you open up the club? We have a Vegas party.
Yeah.
And we start pumping music in here. And we used to give out BTC. However, we've been contacted by YouTube. We're in violation of terms and agreement. We are not allowed to give away cash. You know, I'm glad that YouTube recognizes Bitcoin as cash and it's not a speculative asset.
That is bullish.
So, very bullish. But, so guys, moving forward, we're not trying to be cheap. We're just trying not to get canceled. So,
Yeah.
we can't give away any more Bitcoin. So, there it is.
But we still love you.
Yeah.
And we can do other stuff like merchandise and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we are still going to open up the club when we reach 30 people in the chat. So, really excited about that. So, make sure you guys get your friends and family to hop on. Now,
Only if they want to.
we got the cease and desist order. Yeah, the cease and desist order.
I was contacting
YouTube was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I was contacting Google at 1 a.m. yesterday. We all good though. We're good. We just don't want to get into unnecessary issues. So, anyways, Robin,
Hey, boss. You know what that means?
Is it true?
What's up?
Are we officially in a stock market bear market? Is it official?
We have officially dipped down 20% below all-time highs on the S&P 500, which, per the people of legacy finance, deem as a bear market. Here in crypto land, it's not so much because we have 20% dips multiple times a month.
A daily.
But
20%, that's it? What?
Market, you have CNN, just like they call an election. CNN is called a recession. No, excuse me, a bear market. And probably a recession too. But anyways,
CNN calls it.
Once CNN makes it official and posts it on the bottom of
their ticker.
Their ticker. When you turn on CNN, there's that red line, that little red
breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news.
Bear market.
Bear market.
We've honestly been one of the first, and the reason I know this, okay, I just don't say these things just making it up, right? We watch our competition. We watch other crypto YouTube channels all the time. We were one of the first channels back in February, even January, that were saying we are in a bear market. We've been in a bear market. So to us, this is not news.
Are you gloating over there?
I'm just saying, bro. You want the truth?
Gloating?
You want the truth? You come to Sin City Crypto. That's all.
If you want to see somebody pat themselves on the back, you also come back here.
I just patted us on the back, the whole team, me, you,
The
Rocco,
only
and
thing I
Eddie.
learned here is green mean good, bad,
Red bad.
bad.
Robin's TA. He's gonna write a book on technical.
Okay, in case y'all missed it, it was probably about a month ago. I decided to pull up some charts, and I was like, I'm no TA expert, but green good, red bad.
It was a legendary moment.
And you know what? It was one of my most historic calls ever. You want to talk about some calls, some moments,
it's
some
stuck,
game
bro.
changers?
I'm gonna ask Forrest
Tell
what
me
he
that
thinks.
ain't true, bro.
Let's ask
Tell me that ain't true, though.
Let's ask our TA expert when he comes on today. We have Forrest. It is Friday. It's TA Friday. Our friend Forrest from Crypto Stackers Pro will be joining us to do some TA. He comes on our show every week, gives us tremendous value, us, our community. Support this man. Go follow him on Twitter. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. He does videos every single day. Really great person, great insight analysis, been in the space a long time. Just an absolute professional. We love Forrest. So support this man. He supports our channel. He supports us as a community. So let's return our favor to him. That's all I got.
That should be our next emoji. Green good, red bad. What you think?
Well, how many more members we need for another emoji? 5?
5 more. Yeah.
Eddie,
They're coming. They're hard to find nowadays.
you ready to commit?
Yeah, I'll come in. I'll sign in. I'll sign up later.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, Robin, go ahead. Take it away, man.
All right, so taking a look at it, where we're at in the markets, Bitcoin, $28,903.86. We have had a historic pullback. Not historic. Okay,
Stop it.
But we've had a significant drop here in this morning. From 7 a.m. we were over 30,000, and at 9 o'clock, 2 hours. From 2 hours, we lost
$2K.
Yeah, over $2,000. So that's what's like 8%.
Yeah.
So a very significant move. So this is, obviously 30,000 is a big support level. So we just crossed to the downside. And yeah, what's going on? Why is this happening? Well, perhaps at the same time that this was going on, the stock market opened, and what happened to the stock market? We were at negative 2.55% on the NASDAQ.
NASDAQ is getting crushed.
This is, on top of the 5% that we lost on Friday.
This has to be
Monday. Was it Tuesday?
Tuesday. This has to be one of the worst weeks NASDAQ's had, right?
This is the worst week the stock market has had since 2020.
The flash crash.
But that had a pretty. Here's the difference though between 2020, the March crash, when basically
everything shut
when
down.
everyone had the realization that the government was going to shut down or the country was going to shut down.
Yeah.
However, there was a very strong rebound shortly thereafter. It was down for I think it was 3 weeks, and then
it was about of a V-shaped recovery, as you can imagine.
And so the difference here is this is a comparable downside as far as percentages wise compared to that. However, I think we're in agreement. There's going to probably be no significant bounce, right? It's just gonna. It's just gonna. There's some market correction.
you'll get spikes here and there, but
it's a market correction. So
they won't be rallies.
Exactly, and so where does that put you up? If anything, me and Dave were talking about this. If anything, it puts crypto in the position that what people like as far as I'm not the biggest proponent when it comes to the halving. And I don't think, I think this supply shock is real. I'm not saying it's a non-factor. I just don't think it's as big as a macro event that people make it out to be. And so with that said, I just think it's overblown. I just think that the cycles have happened to line up with moves in the traditional market.
But we've also never been.
But now here's the thing. Now this halving, if we're in a recession, which we are pretty much,
we're in a recession.
We agree we're in a recession, but the experts they argue about that. So if we're in a recession on legacy markets, if we are officially confirmed by CNN as being in a bear market, when do we come out of this? More than likely, most recessions last about a year and a half. Sometimes they last from a half a year, generally, to 2 years. But most of the time, they fall around a year and a half.
Do you agree that you think we'll be on the very latter end of the time horizon, given the fact that the Fed can't really stimulate the economy with more printing?
The economy is going to right itself anyways.
Yeah, so it's not going to get that booster from the Fed.
But here's the thing. If the Fed, when I say the recessions generally come out, you come out of recession between 6 months and a year and 2 years, I think that determines the move of the Fed. So if the Fed is aggressive on interest rates, you can maybe go to 6 month side. Versus if they're raising interest rates and being aggressive on that side, then conversely, you can be, on a longer time horizon coming out of a bear market. So,
yeah. Real quick, I want to welcome Marky Mark back. He was down with the C, but he's back. We missed you, Marky Mark. We hope you're doing well,
What's up,
buddy.
Marky Mark?
Hope you're doing well. And then also,
Juice Crypto.
Juice Crypto.
Is he new?
No, he's been here before.
Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back, my friend.
And then, so basically where I'm getting at is I think the probability with the timing is that the halving is probably going to line up with the traditional markets coming out of a bear market.
Or recession.
And not to mention, people, the traditional hodlers, the traditional investors, the traditional hodlers, and the crypto savvy individuals, they are going to be FOMOing in to crypto because of why? The halving. And so they're going to in turn be a self-fulfilling prophecy because they're going to be like, oh, the halving's coming. They're going to start throwing money into it. And then at the same time, we're going to be coming out of the bear market.
Well, you got also this ETH merge, which was in our thumbnail and our title, and we're going to talk about this during our hot take, but that can have an effect on the markets as well. Rob and I have different.
That doesn't line up with the halving, though.
Right, I know. But it might, give a temporary boost.
It could be a short-term boost. Yeah.
We'll see.
That's what I think. I think you're going to get a significant run in Ethereum. I think Ethereum, there's words of, if you looked at our thumbnail, the upgrade, August. That's what one of the devs, we'll get into that in a minute. But August is the time horizon for Ethereum rollout, the upgrade, the merge. And here's my thing, though. I would assume you probably agree with me, David, but probably get delayed to September, October. Probably October, right?
Bro, there's got to be three test
Did they say August?
They said August.
It's October.
And there's a reason for it. There's a reason for August, and we'll go over that in our article we're going to talk about. So.
But I think that right now, with the markets being as shaky as they are, you know, and it's not that if you believe in a project, it's you know, if you believe in the project and it's got longevity, cool. Not saying don't get into it. However, your altcoins outside the top 10, whatever the price is now, if you believe the market's gonna go further down, which I do, significantly discounted. So right now, I think if you're gonna invest in the market, my personal strategy, not investment advice, I'm gonna pick up Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe something in the top 10, but pretty much where I'm going. And Ethereum has so much upside right now with the merge coming up. There's going to be so much allocation of
ETH to be run nodes.
Well, I'm just saying, there's going to be so much investment in Ethereum just for the preparation of the merge. Now, whether or not you think it's going to be this all-encompassing saving, you know, Ethereum is going to be great, you know, it's going to be deflationary, that's up for discussion. But what I firmly believe, even if you think it's a non-factor, the merge, maybe you just think it's a good. I think it's a great upgrade.
The fact is, there's not going to be as much selling pressure.
It's gonna be deflationary. It's an upgrade. I think it's gonna.
And
I think it's gonna disappoint people for what they think is gonna get. But you can't dispute the fact that it's gonna be massive as far as the investor.
And the fact that there's no miners dumping their coins to pay for overhead. That's big too. All right.
Yeah.
Let's not waste any more time. We are now going to bring our favorite guest on this show to do our market analysis. Our friend from Crypto Stackers Pro. Forrest, let's run the intro. Let's go. Forrest, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, man. You got a haircut? Looks good, bro.
Looking clean.
Appreciate it. One of those bear market haircuts. Got to go to great clips in a bear market. You break out like
aren't we supposed
sport clips or go to the barber in a bull market.
Aren't we supposed to grow our hair during the bear market and cut it when the bull market comes back?
Probably. That's probably where I messed up.
We must.
You're thinking of Movember. I think that's
no shave November. That's in baseball. I think I'm not a big baseball guy.
Every day is November for David. How you doing?
Anyways, Forrest, how you feeling, man?
I'm doing pretty well. Hopefully, you guys are as well.
We're doing great. What are your thoughts on officially the stock market being a bear market? You know, the S&P is down 20% since its all-time high, which technically, according to the pundits and the macroeconomists, we are now officially in a bear market. Are you kind of along the same lines as that? What's your thinking?
Yeah, 100%. And that's kind of why it's right in line. Like what we've been seeing is actually Bitcoin and Ethereum are, and really the whole crypto market, but especially Bitcoin, it's just been trading like a tech stock. It's been correlated with the S&P 500. And because it's a little bit more volatile, because it's a little bit more speculative, a little bit more risk on the S&P 500, and it trades 24/7, we're actually seeing it become a little bit of a leading indicator for the S&P 500. Usually it bottoms before the S&P 500 bottoms. Usually it starts to rally and come and pop back before the S&P 500. But on that topic, right, I wasn't willing to call the bear market until the bears took it below $34,500 with conviction, right? Because if we don't use that as our measure of that 1x short level, that 50% drawdown, last summer we'd have gotten burned. When we should have been buying at $28,000, $29,000, $30,000, people were calling the bear market too early, and it crashed below that 50% correction level and ended up going up and making an all-time high, right? So we can't call it too early. So we just called, or at least I just called, the Bitcoin bear market at $34,500 once they took it below this latest crash, took it down to 26.8 or whatever they took it down to, right before the S&P 500 gets called as a bear market. So yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that. I think we're in for some rough waters, and there's some things we can do to navigate, and hopefully we'll go over that today.
You know, I think when the mainstream media and macroeconomists, when they call a bear market, I think your traditional investors are paying attention to that. You know, and even if it's 1 or 2% different than the day before, I think it changes their direction, their investment strategy. Not necessarily for everybody, but I think as far as a percentage wise, it is. So I think on on traditional finance, on legacy finance, I think we're going to get a larger pullback or even more, we're going to go further into the bear market, I guess. But I don't know. That's something I like to keep a close eye on with when it comes to the crypto correlation, because whether or not you think it's coupled, gun to the hip, whether or not you think it's super close, that's up for debate. But you can't deny that they do move fluidly with the big moves. So big trends up, big trends down, same thing. So they were making fun of me earlier. You want to hear the story there, Forrest? So it was about a month ago.
Hold on, let me preface this by saying Robin is making a run at you for a top TA. So go ahead, Robin.
So, anyways, I'm no TA expert. I'm more of a sentiment guy, right?
Right.
I like to see what the market's doing, and I like to go against the population. If everybody's FOMO into something, I don't necessarily need to look at the charts.
Get to the
There's
good
a lot
part.
of values.
Get
But
to the
anyways,
good part.
I decided to do some TA one time. This is my early days. Pull up a chart, and I'm like, look here, man. I'm like looking at all these ups and downs, and I'm like, look, man. I was like, all I know is that we're in the green right now. In green, good. Red, bad. Boom, TA. That's all the indicators you need.
That was literally his TA.
So it gave me so much flack. I heard this for at least the last 2 months. I've heard like, yeah, why don't you do some TA? Green good, red bad, bro.
It was a complete and utter embarrassment to every technician that's out there that looks at charts. So,
all right. Well,
and also before go ahead.
I was just gonna say, there's usually stuff that goes up and to the right for a really long period of time. There it is. To go up and to the right.
That's all you do.
But tell me I ain't wrong. Tell me I ain't wrong.
You're
good
wrong.
TA advice here. Green good, red
Terrible
bad, right?
TA advice.
I mean, I'm just saying it.
And then Forrest,
something to it.
Before you get into the charts, one of our community members, Brokyoshi, he super chatted and said, "Welcome back, Forrest. Enjoy the market update video this morning. So our community loves you. So we appreciate you."
Cool. All right.
Thanks.
Anything else?
Absolutely.
No, Forrest, do your thing.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Cool. I'm going to switch to sharing my screen. Let me know if you guys can see that.
We're good.
Perfect. All right. Let's go to our weekly total cryptocurrency market cap. Just to start out and show you guys, we are not we're not in that bad of shape. We're just coming back down to our trend line. I know I show this chart every single week. We're starting to consolidate and slow down, right? We know that we can fall and deviate from this trend line. We've done it twice, but any price action in total cryptocurrency market cap that falls below this trend line is probably heavily emotionally driven, right? Unless we really start to print a ton of candles below this long-term trend line that would invalidate it and say that, hey, we are going lower and lower and lower and lower, which is a distinct possibility. This trend line can't last forever. But until we actually invalidate this trend line, we're actually resting on support, and anything below this is probably a good buy. Again, in terms of like Bitcoin, Ethereum, top 10 market cap stuff, like the low cap altcoin stuff is probably going to go. It's going to be, you're going to get steep discounts, unless, of course, we just see the market somehow rally from here. But again, we just called a bear market. We don't think that that's going to be the case, right?
Now, Forrest,
I do want to. Oh, go ahead.
Does that look? That kind of looks like a head and shoulders pattern to me. Yeah. What do you think?
Yep, absolutely. And this would more than likely take us down to this previous all-time high of 828 billion or so. Which would be in line with Bitcoin at around 20K, Ethereum around 1,400. Those were the previous 2017 all-time highs. Wow. All right, so yeah, head and shoulders potential for sure. Cool. And again, that would be where you would want to be buying. We'll get into the exact levels in just a second, but you'd want to be buying this long-term support level. Now, if we go into a really nasty long-term bear market, right, like we get a full-blown 2 or 3 year, and really a lot of people say this was a 4-year bear market. From peak until we went back into a bull market, but really the bull market kind of started, right? You could even argue that it almost started, a year later. We were only really trending down for a year before we got a really, really nice, little mini bull market. But even to our pandemic crash, which honestly, had we not had COVID, right, the bull market probably would have been starting in December of 2019, right? We started going up and then we got this pandemic crash. But again, this was 800 days long. And a lot of people think that or feel like this was a super long bull market. But I mean, even if we see 800 days out, we're really not that far away. We're not that far away from the next halving, right? 800 days away from our peak here, but we're already, if I could get a measurement, we're already like 200 days into it. So yeah, we are somewhat deep into this bear market, and it allows us to start looking for those opportunities in Bitcoin and Ethereum should we drop to these previous all-time highs. But yes, we could go lower. We could go below them, in which case we just want to continue to average in and accumulate in an accumulation phase before we move back up for the next bull run. I do want to go over Bitcoin and Ethereum at a macro level, and then we'll actually get into some specific levels to trade for Bitcoin. I know a lot of stuff I do is like kind of swing trading and macro moves. I've been diving into some lower time frame trading. I know a lot of people, that's a little bit risky for them. Totally understand that, but I still want to give those levels just in case anybody is trading some of the shorter term time frame stuff. Bitcoin is objectively, no matter I know we just went into a bull market or a bear market. Sorry, I wish we just went into a bull market. It is objectively less risky. Everyone has risk backwards. It is objectively less risky to buy Bitcoin when it's down at $28,000 here than it was to buy at $67,000, $68,000. It was extremely risky to buy up here, right? If you're buying Bitcoin at $60,000+, that is a high risk buy. It is overextended against our 21-week simple moving average, which I can throw on. I'll get rid of these short levels. You can see it was overextended above the 21-week simple moving average. It didn't have a ton of momentum going for it. It was moving into this resistance range, right? If we throw on our long margin pressure levels, which we haven't used in a while because it's just been a straight downtrend, right? We see that we made some support on top of the 2x long level, but once Bitcoin went above $58,000, it was just speculative, emotional hype buying that, hey, we're returning to our all-time high. It wasn't actually any like leveraged buying, sustainable leveraged buying that was allowing us to push through those levels. Again, we made a little bit of support on that 3x long from our local low over here, but this was a very, very risky buy, right? Yes, we may go down to $20,000. Yes, we may go down to $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 if we go deep into an accumulation phase. I don't think that those levels are that likely. I think for the foreseeable future, until I see $20,000, I don't even really want to talk about, $16,000, $17,000, $18,000, right? But is it still objectively less risky? Go ahead.
When you have like a trading strategy, I know trading strategies change in bear markets versus bull markets, and you do hear this. You short in the bear market and you go long in the bull market. Is that something you do, or do you kind of look for, regardless if you're in a bear or bull market, you're just looking for entry points, whether it's oversold or overbought, or if it's hitting your easy bands as an example, or do you just kind of try to stay away from long positions just in general in a bear market, and are just looking for ideal short positions? Like what do you kind of look for?
Yeah. So it was a really good question. I think this is a mistake. This is actually a huge investing/trading mistake that a lot of, like, probably 99% of people in the crypto market are guilty of. And that is not separating your short-term trading account / portfolio and your long-term investing account. Like, I have two accounts and I treat them separately. I may be long in one and short in the other, or, the long-term account usually is going to be, long, right? The long-term stuff, I just want exposure to this, long-term trend line going up. It's mainly hodl, right? Take profits when we get into these high-risk areas, right? De-risk in a bear market when we come back up and test some of these previous highs, de-risk and sell off a little bit, and then look to accumulate lower at these lows. That is the long-term strategy. It's very, very simple, right? I might have some conviction plays in there with some low caps, but mainly I'm going to be looking to consolidate everything towards ETH, right? My short-term trading stuff, yes, I'm looking to short in a bear market. I'm looking to play these breakout levels that I'll get into. We just go ahead and jump into them, right? So Bitcoin here on the 4-hour chart, a little bit shorter term. We could zoom in a little bit further. But essentially what we have is about 6 levels here, right? We have the top here, which is $34,500. This is our sell level, or where we want to take profits on any longs that we enter, right? Our second round of take profits, $34,500. That's a key margin pressure level, right? If I go to Crypto Stackers Pro and I just throw on the margin pressure levels, get rid of the easy bands, $34,500. That was the level that held twice. We broke through it recently. Could very easily get a retest of it. Not only that, if we throw on our downtrend line, which I'm not on a logarithmic view, trend lines are subjective. You can throw them on different, views, right? If we came back up, we'd eventually be running into $34,500 on this downtrend line. So $34,500 somewhere in this zone is where I'd want to close my short-term long positions if we start breaking out of this consolidation phase. And it'd also be where I'm looking to short the market. I'm trying to enter some shorts. I'm trying to look for resistance here and short as soon as we confirm resistance at $34,500. That's if we break out of this consolidation phase that we're currently in. You can see that consolidation phase is recently $31,000. You can say, maybe 30.6 has been the resistance level, and 28.5K at the bottom here. And we actually just took a trip today from the top of this range to the bottom of this range, especially if we, drag that line down to fit a little bit better our resistance zone, right? $30,600. A shorted enter. We started printing this red candle. I actually shorted today about halfway through, just driving this down, playing the ranges, playing these bounces until we decide one direction or the other. And once we get a breakout, if I get rid of, okay. Well, I thought I had drawn that a little bit more recently, right? If I'll zoom in here, if we can get a breakout, and a little bit of either a really clean breakout where we just start to really print above or below, right? Or a breakout and then support on top, right? That would be my trigger to jump into a long. This would be my first take profit target, second take profit target. Look for some shorts there, right? I probably wouldn't be looking for shorts here unless we really, really start to get resistance at $32,800, right? And this is, again, in my long-term portfolio, this is where I'm looking to get rid of any leftover altcoins, any stuff that I don't want to be in, that I think I'm going to be able to get a better price on, and just sell it for capital, right? In the case that we drop down to $24,000 or $30,000 or $20,000, sorry. That's going to be unlocking some capital to accumulate ETH and Bitcoin down at these low levels. For me, it's going to be predominantly ETH, but you can obviously make the case for accumulating Bitcoin at $24,000 and below. Now, if we break below here, this is going to be my first take profit target, just a retest of our previous wick low at 26.7K. I'm using the Binance view. I think Binance is the largest exchange by volume. I know a couple of other exchanges did, see wicks that were a little bit lower, but I do think if we break out of this downwards, there's a really strong chance we're going down to test 24.1K. So I'd be looking to take the bulk of my profits at $24,100. And then if we break below $24,100, look for the resistance, jump back into a short down to that $20,000 level. I don't really have to show you what happened, to the left at $20,000. You guys know that was our previous all-time high. Right? So right now it's very, very simple. It's the short-term trading portfolio is just playing the breakouts. The long-term is just looking to de-risk at, either the downtrend line or $34,500, right? And the long-term is the portfolio is looking to accumulate Ethereum or Bitcoin or, whatever large altcoins that you might want. But honestly, I don't think 20 to 24K is good enough yet, or low risk enough to really get into some of these lower cap altcoins, right? I want to get into lower cap altcoins 95, 96, 97% off when they're down at zero and they're looking terrible. Like I want to get into AVAX at like $5. I want to get into Solana at between $10 and $20. Even Solana was just a top 10, AVAX top 20.
Did you say AVAX at $5?
Yeah, it sounds crazy right now. But let me remove remember, like I'm a permable, like I am normally just a complete permable. But once we're in a bear market and things get ugly, right? Like I'm looking for some of these, I'm not on the logarithmic chart anymore here. Like I'm looking for some of these support levels to come in. I'm looking for like accumulations in this region, which would be right between $10 and $15. So I'm looking for something like that and pick up AVAX. And there's no guarantee that it'll get down there, right? If it doesn't get down there and I miss it, but we'll come, we'll get back in it when it starts going back up and once we get a confirmed breakout. But yeah, I think from the all-time high, right? Remember last market cycle, Ethereum dropped 96%. So a 96% drop for AVAX would bring us down to $5. So I think that's how I got the $5 number. But yeah, looking to get it just dirt cheap. And I do think next market cycle, this AVAX is a super high quality project. But I don't think people are quite ready for how ugly bear markets can really, really get. I mean, I'll pull up the Ethereum chart here. Or even look, Cardano is a perfect example. I know you guys are Cardano fans. I like Cardano, right? But last market cycle, let me remove drawings here. And actually, I might need to go to ADA USD calculated by TradingView so I can get last market cycles data in here, right? And I'll even go to the logarithmic view so we can actually see it. We peaked last market cycle at $1.40, right? The bottom was 99% off. This is like 2 cents, like
Jeez.
Down to 0.017, right? And even before then, before that pandemic crash, which I'll give you that, like that was an event, it still came down to 3 cents. Now, Cardano, great project, right? It did like a 189, 190x off of the bottom. But like some of these altcoins, even the top altcoins, Cardano's been in like the top 10 forever. Some of these altcoins just get destroyed in a real bear market, right? So if we don't get that deep bear market, that's great. I'll have already bought Ethereum at $1,400, between $1,400 and $1,800. If we just start going back up with the Ethereum merge and I don't get these cheap altcoins at 95, 96% off, that's fine. I'll look to trade them, and I'll just be printing money with my Ethereum bags in the merge. If we do, though, I don't want to buy them really too early. I want to just be accumulating them in the long term. Now, we can use the easy bands to look for these accumulation opportunities long term, right? Like Ethereum, even though it came all the way down to $115, if it's something that's large cap, that could really turn around at any moment, right? Like Ethereum could have turned around at any moment. We didn't know at the time that it was going to drop to $90. So buying it at $360, a good, high quality, large cap cryptocurrency that we know is going to bounce back, or we strongly believe is going to bounce back, $388 as a first DCA is a great price, right? $269, and the bear market continued to kick the can all the way down to $83, $84. But even just accumulating this downtrend when we became oversold was a really profitable strategy, right? And that was for a top cryptocurrency. This is not even, an altcoin that's in like the top 50, top 100, like low cap. Like the low cap stuff is going to just get destroyed if we go into that long-term bear market. So yeah, I think AVAX could drop to significant low levels. I have tiny amount of AVAX right now. Like if it drops, it drops. I'll just, that's honestly a position that I'll be looking to wind down if we get this bounce out of Bitcoin. If I can find the right Bitcoin chart. All right, if we get a bounce up to $34,500 out of Bitcoin, got a little AVAX, right? A little AVAX position. I think it's a good long-term play. I think AVAX could bounce back and make new all-time highs next market cycle, right? Even if it drops to $5 to $15, right? But if we can pop up to $34,500 on AVAX, what does that look like? Well, on AVAX, this downtrend line, right? Alts are a little bit more volatile. Probably bring this down a little bit, to fit the data a little bit better. Maybe that was a little deviation above that trend line, a little fake out, right? AVAX, $28 right now, could look to cut that position at maybe $50, right? Which again would be kind of, in line with that support right there, right? So that's why when we get this bounce out of Bitcoin, there's going to be a really good opportunity to de-risk from some of these other positions that we might have that we don't want to risk carrying down into, this, even if it doesn't go to $5, right? $10 to $15 range in a deep bear market, right? It's really tough for prices to go up when there's no buyers, right? It's not that there's a ton, like people are just dumping their AVAX positions. It's that, a lot of these coins have some level of inflation rate, and there's just no one coming in to buy the price back up. Like there's no one stepping in until these prices get super low and people have accumulated, right? And then that next market cycle comes in and pushes us back up. So yeah, I hate to, I know it sounds weird because normally I'm super bullish. But once we call that bear market, it's time to really, look to make the next right investment decision and protect ourselves and look for those opportunities to accumulate at dirt cheap prices.
Hey, Forrest, I got a real quick question. Okay, so being in a bear market and understanding that we're going to see these 25-30% drops, right, in a couple days or a week. I know dollar cost averaging is ultimately the best way to invest, but during a bear market, is it more beneficial to chunk buy Bitcoin and ETH when you do see those 15-20% drops instead of DCAing? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 100%. The green easy bands. I chunk buy these green easy bands, right? Like if you just DCA'd Ethereum, like especially if you really don't want to be DCAing on the way up, because then you're essentially having a period of time where you're just buying the top repeatedly, like every single day or every week. When if instead, once we get to these red easy bands, you just turn off the buying. Maybe even consider taking profits. I know crazy strategy there to take profits and actually sell some crypto. But I'm looking to turn off the buying there and then save everything. That's 3, 4, 5 months of savings, right? If you're DCAing normally, let's just throw out a round easy number, $1,000 a month into crypto, into ETH. Well, now you've got a chunk buy at $5,000 chunk buy at $390 that would have actually been spread out at around an average price of $800, right? So you're getting it for half the price by waiting for those capitulations to chunk buy, right? So yeah, 100% chunk buy at 400, chunk buy at 200, chunk buy again down here at 90, right? Instead of DCAing all the way up from 85 to 300, we even maybe consider trimming a little bit up at $300-$400 here, right? And we're not DCAing this entire time period. And what was this? This is December to December. We've got 12 months, right? 12 months to save up. That's $12,000 that we can chunk buy between $125 and maybe even down below $100 that we would have just normally have DCA'd in at, I'll tell you, if we just throw on our 21-week simple moving average, probably around $200. So we're getting twice as much ETH by chunk buying on the green easy bands in a bear market versus, just DCAing in. And if you're DCAing in a bull market, yeah, that's fine towards the beginning of a bull market, and if you're taking profits, but you really you're not saving up those dollars to chunk buy when you really get the good opportunity, right? If you're DCAing over this last year, right, you have no stable coins left to chunk buy this capitulation, and you're getting at an average price of probably like $3,000 instead of getting an average price of like $2,300 or $1,800, right? So I'm all about chunk buying the capitulations to the green easy band. That's the lowest risk time to buy, even if this is the beginning of a bear market, which it probably is. That's what I think is probably going to happen. We'll probably get better prices than $1,800 in the future, but just averaging down with chunk buys in those green easy bands, I believe is the best strategy, right? The lowest risk strategy that you get the best of both worlds. You're still technically DCAing in, you're just not DCAing in you like as frequently, and you're not DCAing in at these like high risk extended levels. That's just my take on it, though.
And that's a really, really good perspective. For me though, my trigger finger is always itchy, so I'm like, oh my God, it's time. Yeah. And nope, I should have waited. So, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way, but I agree. I kind of like, my strategy has been, there's a Cardano. I'm a huge believer in Cardano. So I just dollar cost average in Cardano every week. And then I have a chunk of money set aside where I'm going to chunk buy ETH and Bitcoin. It could be a wrong strategy. It could be the right one, but I'm kind of in line with you as far as if we know these drops are coming, if we're just patient, and we look for signals, and we tune in to Crypto Stackers Pro on YouTube, the link's in the bio, then we would know when those levels are. So, also, one of our community members, Marky Mark, he super chatted again and said he just wanted to thank you again for coming on. So,
yeah, absolutely, and even just Cardano here, right? Cardano, like, probably out of stuff that's been it. So like there's if you go back 4 years, back to 2017, there's like 4 cryptocurrencies that have maintained in the top 20 for the last 4 years. It's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and XRP. XRP obviously has not been the best performer this past market cycle. Bitcoin, I think, returned from the bottom like 17 or 18x from the bottom here to the top. And Ethereum was like a 50x from the bottom, right? It dropped like $100 and this went to almost $5,000. Cardano, while it was of the four, probably the worst performer in the bear market, of the four that have stayed in the top 20, it was the best performer in the bull market, right? So yes, Cardano, Cardano's, a lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. Love it or hate it, yes, it performed pretty terribly. Like, again, 99% drop in the bear market, but it gave you 190x from the bottom to the top in the bull market, right? And that's why when these, lower cap altcoins give us a 95, 98, 99% drawdown in a bear market and give us an opportunity to accumulate it, we want to be taking advantage of that, because just returning to the previous all-time high gives you like a 100x. If it drops 99%, down to 1% of its old all-time high, and then it returns to the old all-time high, that is a 100x. If it goes past its old all-time high, like Cardano did, that's like close to 180, 190x from the bottom. Now, obviously, we're not going to just be able to chunk by the tippy tip of the bottom and get a whole 190x out of Cardano, but if we were just averaging in over time in these lower risk periods of time, right, going from December to March of 2020, right, that's 14, 15 months of saving up. Then we chunk by at 2, 3, 4, 5 cents, and we get our average price down at these accumulation levels of like 4 cents. We're still just getting absurd returns in the next bull market. So yeah, absolutely. Cardano's another one to keep an eye on for DCAing in these green accumulation bands, right? We probably want to turn the DCA off up here above, $1.70. Turn the DCA back on when we're trending down like this. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. Well, any closing thoughts on Ethereum? I know I know you were talking about like on the charts, but is there any like time horizons? Are you setting, because I know the merge. So we got some an article pulled up. One of the devs came out and said that they're eyeballing the August release. There's a couple more test nets to play out, but August is when it's supposed to come up. So if they were to stay on track with August, I think when would the price start to rally? Just off the time horizon. What do you think, David? What do you probably like?
I'm curious to see what Forrest thinks.
July?
I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, usually, like if you look at the Bitcoin merge, and I'm not going to share my screen here, but I'm just going to look at for reference. Usually, you see a rally into the Bitcoin merge about 2 months in advance. Right now, we're in super volatile times, but then it rallies straight through the Bitcoin, not the Bitcoin merge, the Bitcoin halving. Sorry, you rally straight through the Bitcoin halving into a bull market, but you start to see that run up, that excitement about 2 months in advance. I think we could get something like that. Again, it's tough when you don't have the exact date nailed down quite yet, and it could possibly be delayed. Like the Bitcoin halving is never going to get delayed, in advance, like within a couple of day swing forward or backwards when the Bitcoin halving is going to be. I think they're testing the merge on testnet in June. It looks like August could be the date for the merge, but yeah, we don't really know. Honestly, if it gets delayed, great, gives us more time to accumulate. And on the topic of the ETH merge, I've been super clear about how big I think this is going to be. Even if we don't see it spring Ethereum into like this huge bull market, big run up, you're basically, by consolidating into Ethereum, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're consolidating into a large cap, right? The only thing that's larger cap than Ethereum is Bitcoin, right? And you can make really, really solid arguments for the two against each other. I think most portfolios should have both, right? But by consolidating into Ethereum, you're de-risking into a large cap cryptocurrency that has a catalyst coming up. And even if it doesn't give us these huge, run into a bull market, it's probably going to offset a lot of the drawdown, right? Rather than having a 96% drawdown like last bear market cycle, because we've got this merge coming in, maybe we only get an 80% drawdown. Maybe we get a 75% drawdown. Maybe we've already bottomed for Ethereum. We don't really know. But like the drawdown will probably not be 96% this time around because we have that merge coming in. So it just relieves the risk and makes it more attractive to consolidate a long-term portfolio into ETH before this merge. So that's my take on it.
Cool. That's good.
I kind of fall in the same kind of thought process. I think regardless of what you get out of the performance, or what ends up happening on the back end,
you're still holding the second largest.
Yeah, you're holding the second largest coin, and I think everybody's in agreement that going into the merge, it's going to have a huge rally. So right now at extreme discount. So
even if it doesn't, what's the worst case, right? You aim for the stars, fall on the moon, or something like that, or aim for Robin's head, fall on his knee. Anyways, Forrest,
and the timeline of it. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
I was gonna say, and just the timeline of it, like I want to be. You've got the Ethereum merge, and then a year later, potentially a year and a half later, you have the Bitcoin halving. So it's like you can kind of play both catalysts. Like you can jump into Ethereum, consolidate into Ethereum. Maybe you experience less of a drawdown in Ethereum. Maybe you make some gains in a little mini Ethereum bull market. Maybe it goes through the roof. We don't know. But then you can take that Ethereum and then consolidate it into Bitcoin pre-halving, right? You can play Ethereum right into Bitcoin and get the best of both worlds, and just take a higher concentration in Ethereum than you normally would pre-merge. Take a higher, then just roll that right into Bitcoin pre-halving, and you're preparing for both catalysts.
All right, beautiful, man.
Forrest, we know you're busy. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about or go over before you head off into the weekend?
No, I appreciate you guys having me on. As always, it's always a pleasure.
We appreciate you.
Pleasure's all ours.
We know our community definitely appreciates you. If you guys are watching, please go subscribe to Forrest's channel. Follow him on Twitter. He tweets all the time. Forrest, we appreciate you as always. Have an amazing weekend, and we will see you next Friday.
Yeah, have a good weekend, brother.
You too. See you guys.
Take care.
All right.
That's a good perspective, man. It's
here's
like
the thing, man. Like if you watch that from start to finish, and you're at all questioning crypto as far as its longevity and like making money, like I mean that's all you need, man. We essentially we're looking at charts zoomed out. We talked about where we were going into our last bull market, where we're at now, and do you want to be dollar cost averaging in the bull market like last year, like we were discussing? No. And so for those of you sitting here watching this, it's just an affirmation that you are in the right place at the right time. You have our backing as far as, our confidence in the market. And then you have the backing of the charts. You can't deny it. You look at history, you look where we're at, you look at the prices. We all know we're gonna break new all-time highs here in the future. And right now, everything's at a discount.
And there was a song. Women lie, men lie. But guess what? Numbers, they don't lie. You like that?
Wow.
Thank you. Wow. Eddie's amused. I'm sure our chat is amused too. We have a couple of new people here.
Write that down. We need one of those posters. You go to like the dentist's office.
Rob, I'm gonna need some. Robin, I'm gonna need some olas, bro. I'm gonna need an ola to hatred. Hopefully he loves us.
All right. So hatred, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
And Strictly 3 Sports. I wonder what the 3 sports are.
And Strictly 3 Sports. Hola! Maybe it's like backgammon,
cricket, croquet, or whatever. Just kidding. Welcome, you guys.
Foosball.
I know Strictly said I found us from Forrest's channel. So that's awesome. And then Hatred, I'm not sure if he said where he's visiting from, but also to those of you that super chatted for Forrest, you guys are awesome. Thank you.
If you like our content, we do recommend, come and hanging out with us Monday through Friday. But if you just come for Forrest, ain't nothing wrong with that.
But only if you want to.
That's every Friday. So at bare minimum, we know we're going to see Strictly 3 Sports every Friday. So how you doing? Welcome to the Friday Club.
All right.
Now, you know what happened when we had Forrest on?
Stock market tanked.
That happened too, but we reached 30 people in the chat. So without further ado, baby, let's get this party started. So in case you didn't already know, when we reached 30 people in the chat, we open up the club. That's what we do best here in Vegas. So a little celebration for the community.
Open up the club. You better dance, bro.
Bro, I'm dancing right now.
What kind of dance is that, bro?
I was starting the freaking thing, dude.
What are you?
He's one of those. You know, at the car dealership, the flappy thing.
Inflatable arm guy.
Dude, don't hang out my dancing.
Oh man, guys, if you're new, we are in Vegas. In Vegas, we do clubs, we do VIP lists.
Robin, you going to EDC this weekend?
Hell no.
Man, I hate when EDC comes here just because of traffic.
I think
Traffic.
everyone hates it.
Let me
like,
tell you
in
something,
Vegas.
man. You know, I was talking to somebody yesterday.
Seen a lot of pasties though.
EDC is literally the people that go to these concerts. If you go visit it, it's cool, man. There's lots of good music here, but I'm gonna have to throw some shade on some of these people. If you're a regular attendee to music festivals, you are the new age hippie. Like that's literally what you are. Because you look back in the '70s, these people just went to these old concerts and just smoked weed all day and just didn't shower. Same thing, except for now. You're popping ecstasy and you're hanging out and you don't shower and instead of
You
hanging out,
referenced
instead
two
of
drugs
hanging out
already,
in
Robin. You trying to get us canceled?
Instead of hanging out in the fields, you're hanging out in a hot parking lot here in Las Vegas. So,
Why don't they do it in the fall or early spring where it's not 110 degrees and you're on drugs?
And it's mega windy here in Vegas.
Vegas
Could
weather
you
is
imagine being in an
Especially
outdoor
out
concert
in the
right now?
desert where they have.
Okay, let me
it,
ask
like,
you guys
the
a question.
Speedway.
So we're Sin City Crypto, right? I don't know about you guys. I'm getting real tired of this wind. It's like 3 days out of the week it's windy. So what happens if we move? Are we still going to be Sin
We
City
ain't
Crypto?
gonna move, bro. Get out of here.
Yeah, I ain't moving nowhere, bro.
Since
You know, I thought we talked about this. We're going to leave Robin here by himself?
I'm only going to El Salvador.
Salvador?
Bitcoin City.
Bitcoin City. All right. Strictly Sports City's coming out for NBA Summer League. Please, if you want to come, hang out with us in the studio, check out our studio. Reach out to us. Our email is in the About page on our YouTube channel. We'd love to host you in our studio.
And then, we usually have somebody in house about once a week at least. So it's quite normal to have people just come out and hang out,
Yeah.
watch the show. So let's get into our hot take.
Let's get into the hot take.
It's hot.
All right. So, referencing an article before we jump into the hot take, Robin mentioned it. We talked about it with Forrest. Well, we're going to talk about it some more because this is, like Forrest said, this might be the knight in shining armor during a bear market. Ethereum eyes huge breakout as the long-awaited merge now expected in August. Speaking during a permissionless conference, Ethereum developer Preston Van Loon told the attendees that their network is on track to move to proof of stake in August if no hurdles are encountered along the way. He goes on to say, quote, as far as we know, if everything goes to plan, August, it just makes sense. If we don't have to move the difficulty bomb, let's do it as soon as we can. So what is a difficulty bomb? It is a mechanism that at a predefined block number increases the difficulty level of puzzles in proof-of-work mining algorithm, resulting in longer than normal block times and thus less ETH rewards for miners. Notably, the date of the so-called difficulty bomb helps estimate when the merge is expected to happen, as it's designed to disincentivize miners from continuing to produce blocks on Ethereum's proof-of-work chain. So, August, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. So the hot take is this. Will there be an ETH rally when the merge goes live?
Before, no. Yeah, before, yes. But you're saying after it goes live?
When it goes live.
Or when it goes live?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes for two big reasons. And Forrest hit on all of them. First one, it becomes deflationary, right? Essentially, there is no new ETH being mined. So as far as I know, circulating supply is going to be 100% of available or total supply, right? There's no more ETH to mine. Also,
They're going to give rewards out in Ethereum, so they are actually creating Ethereum tokens, but on the back end they're burning more than they're creating. So
it's deflationary.
It becomes deflationary.
Okay.
So technically, yes, that idea is correct, but they're still creating tokens, but they're burning more than they're creating.
right. So essentially, yeah. Okay. The second, selling pressure, right? We understand miners have overhead, right? Whether you're a Bitcoin miner, an Ethereum miner, or an Ethereum Classic miner, whatever the case may be, you use energy, you have to buy equipment, hardware, software, whatever the case may be. So you have overhead. So what happens is when you mine, you get the rewards, you have to sell some of them, unless you're a billionaire and you have enough money to pay your bills. You have to sell some of those block rewards back into the market so you can pay for your overhead. Well, guess what? When there's no proof of work, there's no miners. And when there's no miners, there's no selling pressure of these Ethereums that are being mined being sold back on the market. So selling pressure is gone. I think the NFT market might line up to get a nice boost. I mean, we're down like 90% on volume across the board. Prices, floor prices of even the biggest project like Bored Apes, we are down. So how much farther down could we go before people start to realize, hey, there's value in the NFT marketplace? Merge happens, deflationary, no selling pressure, and you got the NFT market going. I definitely think we'll see an ETH rally. Will it break all-time highs? I don't think so because of the macro scale of being in a recession and the stock market being in a bear market. But you know, it might be one of those things where like ETH is the only one in the green for a few weeks. So I'm with Robin and I'm with Forrest. I'm chunk buying ETH.
Yeah, definitely not going to be breaking all-time highs.
No.
So even with the merge, even with there being FOMO, even with, just, if they get a ton of more market dominance, your all-time highs for Ethereum was basically $4,800, almost $5,000. And, my personal, not referencing any charts here, but my personal price target as far as where the top would be for the Ethereum run-up would be probably about 3,500, maybe 3,800. I just don't see it crossing $4,000. And because of that, I treat this Ethereum upgrade as I'm setting a price target in and I'm setting a price target out. And so my price target in is somewhere between $1,500 and $1,800 for my Ethereum. Now, I understand Forrest talked about $1,400, could get even lower. So, I mean, just for me personally, who knows where my entry price is going to actually fall at, but I'm just eyeballing that target.
I had a question for you guys. If people talk about Bitcoin going down to like 14,000, 16,000, if it drops that low, how low do you think Ethereum will go?
Under 1,000.
Under 1,000 easily.
So okay, so a sub $20,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. They're pretty correlated.
That's what I'm saying. If it's correlated, wouldn't it drop down to like $500 of
well, here's the thing.
Ethereum?
Here's the thing. I don't see it under 1,000 because if you take Bitcoin right now, you cut it in. Well, let's see. You take Bitcoin right now, you cut it in half. Let's just say we cut Bitcoin in half.
14,000.
You're at 14,000. Mm-hmm. So at 14,000, then you're going to be sub $1,000. So basically, if Bitcoin hits,
well, is it closer
16, 17,000, I could see it under 1,000.
No, I think the opposite. I think it depends on what side of under 20. Is it closer to the 10,000 side or closer to the 20,000 side? If it's closer to the 10,000 side, yeah, it's definitely going to go under a grain.
Well, here's the thing. If you get a 50% drop in Bitcoin, you'll probably get comparable 50% drop because that's where
even with the merge.
That's what I'm saying. What do you think the merge will help? Like with some
that's
resistance?
a good question.
Like,
do you think it'll offset some of that? Right. I mean, that's a good question. That's a good point.
I think if Bitcoin drops like below like 15 or at 15, 12,000, I feel like they're going to get a pump from Ethereum.
With my price target of between 15 and 18, my general consensus is that Bitcoin's not going to fall under 20,000. So if you adamantly believe, or your investment strategy is that you're forecasting Bitcoin to be sub 20,000 and you're preparing for that with stablecoin and you're preparing for your buys at those price targets, then if you're going to be scooping up Ethereum too, then you're going to be substantially lower than $1,500. And I would too. But my personal sentiment is I don't think Bitcoin's going to be under 20,000. And if it doesn't get under 20,000, Ethereum ain't going to get under 1,500.
Right.
And so with that idea, and here's the thing. I was talking about this yesterday. I don't mind, and you're never going to be able to buy the bottom. Never. And okay, well, I don't want to say never. Generally speaking, you're not going to. And you might luck out, but
never say never.
So for me, is it a good deal? Absolutely. Going into the bull market, I remember looking at Ethereum at $1,200 and I was like, damn, should have bought some of that. And I didn't. I did have some Ethereum, but I wish I would have really scooped some up at $1,200. and I got into some dumber speculative projects. Anyways, just hindsight. I'm
You know
like,
what's beautiful?
$1,200 was a
You know what's
creep.
beautiful though about crypto is even if you make a mistake like Robin and don't buy a 12, you can still.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm looking back. I'm like $1,200, and then you know what? At $1,500, that's only $300 off of that price target, and that's with gonna break new all-time highs. So now that Ethereum has hit pretty much 5K,
Rob, would you
essentially.
say ETH is bulletproof?
No,
No.
no,
You think Bitcoin's bulletproof?
yeah.
What
I
makes
think-
ETH not bulletproof? It's just
I mean, it was only 6 years ago that they forked their entire chain.
that's more than that's almost half of crypto's been alive. I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah, that's the same time window for one Windows update. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm serious, man. Like, you go from Windows 10 to 11, it takes 6 years. And so, you know, like, that's not in the software side. 6 years, yes, it's a long time if you compare it to all the new cryptos, but essentially it's really not that long of a time. And this is such a new emerging technology. You got to think, first couple years, it's not like millions of people are attacking it. And once it gets bigger, once it gets larger, then at that point, you know, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, for me, I just think it's a non-factor.
I hear you. You know, Eddie posed a really good question, and yeah, I do think it'll have some effect. You know, typically if Bitcoin drops 50%, alts drop 75, 80%. I think for ETH, with what's going on with the merge, I could see it instead of dropping 80%, it dropping closer to what Bitcoin's going to drop, which is 50%, or even a little less, 40%. So it will remain to be seen. But one thing you know is ETH ain't going anywhere. ETH is here to stay. So
I mean, we're not far off of this $1,800. I mean, right now Bitcoin
Where
is
I was-
at 1,900.
I was just checking the market, and the Nasdaq is getting just cream pied. It's getting creamed. No, seriously, it's down. It's down almost 3% again. I said cream pie. I meant creamed. My bad. It's getting Man, I play college football, bro. We say it all the time. Man, just see you in that offensive tackle. Anyways, all right, we're done with our hot take.
What are you? He's
Just
an
move on,
offensive
bro.
tackle.
Just move.
Robin, you would know because you don't play sports. You don't play sports, Robin.
move
You've
on,
never
yeah,
played a
yeah.
sport in your life. You probably
no,
played
it's
tennis.
not called. It's
Co-
called.
corn nuts,
What is it
yeah.
called?
Cream.
Pancaked. It's called pancaked.
Bro.
But if you want to call
Trust.
it cream pie, that's fine. That's all you, bro.
I said creamed and not cream pie. I don't know. I'm hungry. I'm thinking about pies. All right, let's move on. Moving on to our talking point segment of our
Please,
show.
please, thank you.
The talking point. All right. So, if you guys remember, before I start, Robin, we just welcome my friend Prodak.
Brodeck. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Prodak, welcome to the fam. All right. So, if you remember, President Joseph Robert Biden, I believe that's his middle name. It's also Robin's middle name is Robert as well.
You know what my middle name is?
Robin Robert. I know what your middle name is. It's the plainest name ever, Peter.
That's right.
Robin Peter Klein.
It ain't
RPK.
plain.
RPK, isn't that a video game? Well, it's RPG, right? Anyways.
Bro, all right. Can we mute him for? Can we
You
put
ain't
him on a
the-
mute timeout? There we go. All right. He's muted. He's muted. Okay. All right. Yes. Thank you.
You're fired. Man, I'm just, I feel like, I feel like,
you're everywhere today. If you're new to the chat, hola.
Talks
I am
called you
your-
Robinette.
I'm your
That's
only
a
co-host
great-
right now.
That's a great
Me and
name,
Eddie,
Robinette.
so there we go.
I like that name. You know, Talks? I'm starting to like you more and more. Is it really? Robinette. Paisano. All right. Anyways, if you remember, President Biden a few months ago came out with an executive order saying, hey, branches of the U.S., the SEC, the CFTC, the Commerce, Treasury, figure out how we're going to lead the world in crypto and blockchain. Well, here you go. U.S. Congress finally introduces crypto bills. Here's what you should know. Rocco, you want to pull up my laptop, sir? United States Congress, which you're not familiar with how stuff works in the U.S., it is the culmination of the Senate and the House of Representatives. Combined is called the Congress. They have elaborated on its plan to regulate cryptocurrencies and other digital assets after careful assessment. Congress introduced 50 bills and resolutions regarding regulation, blockchain, and CBDCs. The first category of the bills is about crypto taxation, under which many bills were passed. The Virtual Currency Tax Fairness Act of 2022 would exempt personal transactions made with virtual currency when the gains are $200 or less. Now, if you remember, Senator Lummis, Senator Emmer, they wanted this number to be closer to 600, but looks like it's going to be 200, which, I mean, come on. The second category is regarding CBDCs. The Accountability for Cryptocurrency in El Salvador Act was introduced to assess the impact of Bitcoin in El Salvador. Essentially, they put pen to paper and said, hey, keep an eye on El Salvador. Let us know how that thing folds, how it comes about. The act would study the legal adoption of Bitcoin in El Salvador and its implications on the U.S. and the global financial system. Another bill called the eCash Act focuses on creating a digital dollar. The third category focuses on clarity on the regulatory treatment of digital assets and digital asset securities. Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act, which offers protection for, quote, non-controlling blockchain services and software developers. So, a lot to go over here, but they're making progress. 50 bills. It's a lot of bills. Robin, are you a fan of any of these? Are you not a fan of any of these? What are your thoughts?
I mean, we all know it was coming. You know, why did Biden come out with the executive order? It was to stimulate regulation. And I think whether or not you want it or not, basically being in this gray area where nobody knows what the hell's going on isn't ideal for growth in our sector. So he got behind the ball and he was like, hey, all the branches of government, let's go. Let's get behind it. And this is the culmination of that executive order.
Yeah.
These are the bills and they're here. So let's take a look. So the one that sparked my interest was evaluate what El Salvador's doing. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty huge because here's why. You have a country, the United States, that obviously is intrigued by crypto. You know what I mean? As far as legislation, as far as
talking about the U.S., correct?
Yes, Congress.
But do you think that,
like, you have Biden with the executive order, so obviously they're paying attention, right?
right? But do you think it's because they're actually intrigued, or they're looking at these other countries and saying we can't fall behind the ball?
No, I mean literally. Like, here's the thing. Like, it's like you got a test case. You have a government that is literally testing out Bitcoin as part of its financial infrastructure. And so you got other countries, they just brought in 44 different representatives from 44 different countries, central banks and all kinds of other, financial players. And they're doing the same thing. The world is on notice right now. The world is paying attention what is going on in El Salvador. And you know what? What really excites me is the fact that the U.S. is passing bills to pay attention. They want to evaluate, how does this work? And, this could go two different ways. Right now, we're in a bear market. You're talking about some grave consequences for El Salvador adopting Bitcoin. They over-leverage themselves. If in the situation where if Bitcoin were to dump even more, they're going to be in a really tight spot financially. And so it could go two ways. It could go really ugly. And the worst case scenario, if El Salvador completely ditches the Bitcoin model, then what does that mean for the experiment? Or other countries are going to be like, see?
Or if they default, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or
Right.
they default.
Yeah.
And so at the same time, if they weather the bear market and they come out stronger on the other side, everybody, U.S. included, is going to be like, well.
So hear me out on this,
Maybe
Rob.
we should scoop up some Bitcoin.
Hear me out on this. Well, first, before I say what I was going to say, Rocco, you pull up my laptop. I got so this is from President Bukele's Twitter. Robin mentioned there was 44 central bankers from 44 different countries in El Salvador learning about Bitcoin, and he tweeted, "Central bankers looking cool." And here's one of them using one of their Chivo wallet Bitcoin ATMs. Not sure who that one was. And here you go. Someone's paying for something through their app with Bitcoin. Here you go. Another one. So Just pretty cool.
Now, Eddie's fam is from
El Salvador,
bro. Now, is the fam bam using Bitcoin down there or what? What's up, Eduardo?
I haven't heard anything from them. My grandma's going in like 2 weeks, so
Yeah.
we'll
Oh,
figure
she's
it
going to
out.
El Salvador?
Yeah, she's going to El Salvador. So
You know, we hear a lot.
Can we bring her on as a live stream guest?
Why is that funny?
because it's funny. What are you
Why?
talking about?
You don't love Gam Gam?
She speaks Spanish.
Yo hablo español también, güey.
All right, let's do it.
No me grites, paisano. Also, if you are new to our stream, it is
He's gonna literally tell your grandma about his Dorito.
Abuelita,
He's
¿cómo estás?
What flavor Doritos?
I
y'all
speak
got down
Spanish, bro. All right. Real quick. If you're new to our stream, please say hello. We would love to personally welcome you to our crypto fam. Okay.
I will ask her to take like pictures and like what she knows and find out some stuff.
Bro,
exactly.
you better put some Bitcoin in Gam Gam's wallet so she can
Straight
go
up.
down there.
Well,
and
yeah,
spend it.
she's going with
but
my aunt.
Set her
so-
up with a wallet before she goes
Yeah,
down
we already
there.
had this conversation, bro.
Well, I'm just saying.
Don't be cheap, bro. This
You're the
lady
one that's
raised
cheap.
you.
We all know everyone
This
in the
lady
chat knows you're
raised
the
you.
cheap one in here, bro.
Anyways, so listen, what I was gonna say is, hear me out on this, all right? So, I'm a little bit. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but my brain just goes right. The possibilities are everywhere. So
Your brain goes?
so
There's a motor up there.
here's what I'm thinking. There are so many people, proponents of Bitcoin, that are just wanting it to succeed. I think that if for some reason El Salvador, Bitcoin tanks under 20K and they default on their loan, I think there are going to be people that step in to help them save their Bitcoin so they don't have to sell it. That's just my theory. I don't
You
think
think the Bitcoin community? But here's the thing:
I don't think the Bitcoin. Hold on. I don't think the Bitcoin community will allow El Salvador's experiment to fail because they know if it fails, it'll put a it'll put a stain.
because you're wrong. Because here's why.
Here we go.
Here's why.
Okay.
Because if they fail and they default, Bitcoin's gonna be at all-time lows. At least, or not all-time lows, but it's gonna be in lows for this cycle. So if it fails and they default, that means Bitcoin's at like 12,000. You think that the Bitcoin community is gonna get rid of their Bitcoin at 12,000? Bro, they're gonna hodl. You never sell Bitcoin at the bottom. So if you're gonna be leveraging, if you're gonna be leveraging Bitcoin, if you're gonna be selling your Bitcoin or donating your Bitcoin, you're not gonna be donating it at the bottom. And that just goes against everything that the Bitcoiner maxis stand for. And
I just don't think the Bitcoin community would let that project fail.
so you think they're going to sell their Bitcoin at the bottom?
I'm not saying they're going to sell their Bitcoin, but they'll do something. They'll do something, bro. I don't know what that something is, but
I mean, you're talking about
learned.
You're talking about a nation state, and then you're talking about retail investors. I just don't
look
see
at what
it.
happened in Canada, right? With the trucker thing, people's accounts getting frozen. They raised, I think, a couple mil in a matter of like a few days in Bitcoin. Like the crypto community, like right now we're small, but we're passionate. And we understand that if we want to get to where we get to with crypto, we have to help each other out.
They raised that couple mil in a bull market. People came off of that. They donated.
We were not in a bull market, right? We agree that
Canada was.
it was in like February, March.
I thought
I'm
that
pretty,
was like
it was
last year.
definitely 2022, 100%.
It was
thought that was like last year, at the end of
towards the
last
height
year.
of the market.
No, the height of the market was last year. It was 2020.
This was last year.
Bro, I promise you, this was 2022.
Fact check.
Where the Canadians at? Canada, stand up. Let us know who's right, Robin or David. It
I
happened
think
in
it was
2020.
in like January. I think it was.
I think it was
Maybe
closer
it
to
was
February or
December?
March. Rocco, fact check us, please.
Eduardo.
Eddie's fact checking us. Eddie, fact check us.
All right, let's go. Next article.
All right, let's go. Crypto bleed won't ruin U.S. economy, says leading banking giant Goldman Sachs. While the cryptocurrency market has been on a decline for months, Goldman Sachs.
It looks like it was in February.
Thank you
in
very
a lot of
much,
articles
Robin.
in
Bow
February,
to me,
yeah.
please.
But February was still way.
Bow to your
high.
master.
No. I'm not saying it was at the tippy top, but you look at where Bitcoin was in February, and look where we're at now. I mean, February we were sitting at $42,000.
But we've talked
Bitcoin.
about how we've been in the bear market since like end of last year, beginning of this year, correct? Unless you're going to walk back on your
I'm
statement.
not saying that. I'm not saying that this happened to coincide with the top of Bitcoin. I mean, the top of Bitcoin was 60,000. We're talking 42,000, and we're at 20-something thousand.
Right.
So I'm just saying that people are more likely to donate Bitcoin when it's up, when they have and they're in profit.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
Of course.
And if El Salvador defaults, Bitcoin is at historical
low.
lows.
I get it, but
Is there a number that El Salvador's on the default at?
I don't know. I know
MicroStrategy.
Michael Saylor is
3,400.
21,000. No, 21,000 on their current leverage.
30.
And,
go ahead.
so it's 21,000 of the current leverage. He said that he can leverage more Bitcoin as collateral that he has on hand, and that can sustain all the way down to 3,400. And so
I thought I read that they would only have to add more collateral if it got to 3,400.
It's literally what it's no. At 2,100 they have they
21,000.
leverage Bitcoin. At 2,100 at $21,000 Bitcoin, he needs to provide more collateral, or he gets margin called. And so obviously he's not going to get margin called and liquidate his Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So at 21,000, that's when he has to pony up more.
Is Patricio new?
No, I think maybe, I don't know.
PM, Prime Minister?
Patricio. Hola.
That's a pretty common Portuguese name, right? Brazilian or Portuguese?
Patricio.
Patricio. How do you say hi?
Bro, please.
Joke. It's a joke. Jesus Christ. All right, let's get back to the article here. While the cryptocurrency market has been on a decline for months, Goldman Sachs doesn't think the bleed will significantly impact the economy. Nonetheless, Goldman economists pointed out that this drop is small relative to the $150 trillion that makes up overall household net worth. So if you take the entire cryptocurrency market, compare it to the $150 trillion household net worth, peanuts. Quote, this is a quote from the article. We therefore expect any drag on aggregate spending from the recent declines in cryptocurrency prices to be very small. The economist said that crypto accounts for around 0.3% of household net worth, while equities make up closer to 33%. Robin, what's your take on this, bro? Is this a positive? Okay, so hear me out on this, right? You can spin it multiple ways. Is it a positive that the crypto market bleeding doesn't have an effect, or is it actually a negative because, hey, it just means that it's not widely adopted?
I mean, here's the thing. Goldman Sachs, they know traditional finance. Do they know crypto? They're still new in the game. And they still got the blinders on. They still got that stock mentality. Do they know what they're talking about? Probably. But I don't know. What do you think?
So from my perspective, I think it's good because I'm 100% believer in the crypto space. So I'm just like, give me more time to stack to build my wealth. But for some people, it just means that it's not out there enough for them to be able to learn, understand, know how to invest in it.
But do you believe their analytics? Do you believe their numbers?
I mean, 150 trillion household net worth compared to the 1.2 trillion overall market cap. I mean, you can't deny the numbers. So it's saying even if Bitcoin crypto goes to zero.
But I feel like Goldman Sachs they put numbers together to show things in their whatever narrative.
But what benefit would it have to them to say crypto market wouldn't affect the economy? I'm just saying, if the crypto
they got reasons, man. They got
if the crypto market goes to zero, only 0.3% of household net worth gets wiped out. That's nothing. If equities go to zero, you're looking at 33%. So for me, great. Give me more time to build my wealth and in this space because I believe in it. But for the rest, for the retail, for mass adoption, it's going to take some time, but we're headed that way. So
this time, man, the Goldman Sachs doesn't release a report or a number unless they want to drive something somewhere. That's
So what are they driving?
I don't know. Who knows?
What do you drive, Eddie?
Bugatti.
Lies.
I ain't got no Bugatti.
All right, let me ask you a question. If I gave you guys, if Rocco, Eddie, and Robin, if I gave you guys $200K for a car, what are you buying? Eddie?
Told you, Cybertruck. I'm waiting for
Cybertruck. Okay. Rocco? You need a moment. It's going to be an Italian car for sure. Robin?
a Fiat.
200 racks?
200 racks, bro.
Oh, the GT. You know, I'm gonna take. So Rocco, he doesn't have a microphone on him because Eddie took it. But
Thief.
anyways, Rocco said he's gonna get the Mercedes GT. GT is pretty clean. That's a 2-door one. The AMG.
dope.
It's got both an electric.
Is that 200K?
It's got an electric motor and a gas motor, and both work in tandem.
Okay, we don't need a deep dive on the motor. What are you gonna buy?
I'm gonna stick Mercedes too, man. But I'm gonna get the Maybach.
Maybach.
I think the Maybach starts at 200K.
I'm getting a Huracan, bro. I'm getting a Huracan. So one of my friends took me to Speed Vegas, and I drove a Lambo Huracan. Those things, man. The way, like, you are going 80 miles an hour in a figure 8, and it just hugs. It was like such a good time. I had a great time. What are you guys buying?
He's been talking about that Lambo for the
I'm going to take you
time.
guys.
It's like
I have a
going
hookup
to the
there.
steakhouse and be like, bro, I had the best steak ever in the steak.
All right,
Like,
keep talking
duh.
crap. Keep talking crap. You're going to be the only one to not come.
Duh.
Rocco and Eddie.
I drove
Rocco and
a
Eddie.
Lambo on a racetrack.
Rocco and
It was
Eddie, I'm going to
fast.
take you guys on my dime, on my personal dime. We're going to go race Lambos. Robin's going to stay here and video edit.
Guys, you got no idea how fast the Lambo is.
We have a camera? Okay, there you go. Oh, shit. Never mind. Just kidding. Let us know what you guys think. What are you going to buy with 200 grand? Anyways.
If you didn't know a Lambo was fast, put a 1 in the chat.
I swear to God, if we wouldn't get flagged for violence, I would literally walk up to this man right now and I would straight backhand a dude. Anyways, let's go. So this is a very interesting article. So we had an article a few weeks ago talking about a couple weeks ago, how the UK labeled NFTs as property. Well, here's a very interesting case that happened in Singapore. Pull up my laptop, please. Singaporean court blocks sale of a Bored Ape NFT. A Singaporean citizen has managed to successfully block the sale of one BAYC NFT through a court-ordered injunction. And here's what happened. In mid-April, the claimant obtained the loan from someone. The claimant got the loan, but its conditions included, quote, a short repayment period. So essentially, put up his Bored Ape NFT as collateral for this loan. When the claimant failed to repay the loan on its maturity date, the lender took ownership of the Bored Ape. Now, the plaintiff alleges unjust enrichment on the lender's part. So you're the lender. I'm the lender. I lend you $200,000. You give me your Bored Ape as collateral. And I say, you got to pay me back in 3 months. You say, okay, fine. You don't pay me back in 3 months. I own your Bored Ape, and now I'm going to go sell it so I can get my 200 grand back. Well, the guy who gave up his Bored Ape for the money went to court and said, hey, unjust enrichment on the lender's part. The Bored Ape NFT is one of the claimant's most treasured possessions. This is what he said. And irreplaceable to him. It's his most treasured asset. It's irreplaceable. Then why would you risk it as collateral for money? Right?
You enter into a contract where the parameters are clearly defined, and if you break the contract, then there's consequences.
And here's the thing.
And so, you know, why? You know what I mean? If I come into an agreement with somebody and I say, hey, I'll give you my Rolex, and I'm gonna buy, and you lend me money. And if I don't pay you back every month, you keep the Rolex. And you can sit here and give some sob story about how your granddaddy gave you that Rolex, but you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the value is to you personally. If you enter into a contract, a binding contract, and you don't fulfill your side, then too bad, bro.
And it goes on to say he had no intentions to ever part with it or sell it. With this argument, the Singaporean court has foreclosed any sale of the NFT until after its ownership is resolved. What else needs to be resolved? You have a contract, and the guy knows if he doesn't pay back in the time he said he's going to pay back, he loses ownership, just like a pawn shop. So to me, this is foul. But then again, I'm comparing it to the way the justice system here works in the U.S. I know it's definitely different in Singapore and other countries. Robin, I mean, are we both in agreement this is just wrong? The person who lended the money out is now the owner and should be able to sell it to recoup his money?
Yeah, but I mean, court systems work different in different ways. So, I mean, that's the way the justice, or I don't want to say justice, probably the civil court system works in Singapore. So it is what it is.
Singapore? What the hell is wrong with you?
That's right.
All right, one more article I want to talk about, and then we will be done. So, luxury watchmaker Tag Heuer starts accepting crypto for online purchases. By the way, anyone in the studio, you guys own a Tag Heuer? Robin?
No.
No. Rocco? No. Eddie? No. Chat, if you own a Tag Heuer, put a 1. If you don't, put a 2. Swiss luxury watchmaker Tag Heuer has announced the rollout of cryptocurrency payments for all online purchases on its U.S. website. In a partnership with BitPay, it will incorporate 12 digital currencies, including Bitcoin, ETH, Doge, and $5 pegged stablecoins. You think Tether's going to be one of those, Robin? One of the 5?
Of course. What other 5? What 5 are you going to pick outside of Tether?
UST. Terrible. Too soon. U.S. customers will have no minimum amount to spend, but there will be a max of $10,000 per transaction. And a quote, as a luxury brand, we had to ensure that our entrance into Web3 would meet our standards of excellence. And thanks to our nimble teams in-house and with the support of BitPay, we're able to dive into this new financial world in the best way possible, said Frédéric Arnault, CEO of Tag Heuer. So, not like breaking news or huge news, but just so you guys understand, more and more retailers, more and more corporations, more and more enterprises are entering the space. Very bullish. Adoption continues to grow even though the bear market is here and we are getting clobbered in our portfolios. Follow the money. Where is the talent going? Where's the money flowing to? Where are the resources going? If you just look at those, block out the noise, watch Sin City Crypto, you will be bullish even during a bear market. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to buy a Gucci belt.
I just bought a $600 mic, so I ain't got money. Eddie?
I'm broke.
You make more money than all of us here, bro.
Yeah, right, bro.
You're a millionaire. People just don't know it. What's up,
yeah,
bro?
right.
Just kidding. You guys, I'm here watching you guys.
Social guru.
Wow, that's messed up. Bullish Kenny throwing shade at us, bro.
I liked it. I
I like it too, actually. It's funny. It's funny. All right, let's roll the outro music. We are finito. To all of our new members that just joined our stream today, welcome to the Sin City Crypto fam. We are a young, hungry, growing channel. We have one of the best, if not the best, communities out there. So thank you for joining us. Make sure you guys subscribe if you want to. Ping the bell if you want to. Come check us out Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Vegas time. On behalf of myself, Robin, Rocco, and Eddie, we love you guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Monday. Peace.
Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas I goof off. Smoking on a island, say she wanna ride with me. Took her on a flight, said all her bags from Italy. I sent her with a friend, they shopping there religiously. Whoa, whoa, yeah. She say she love me, but that's when she rockin' Prada bag. Said she ready for the next, I walk not so fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down, girl, don't you crash. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Cause we can mess up that pretty face, but we can fuck up that pretty lady. Tryna kiss up, I'm in your place. Man, this shit so crazy. Never thought I'd be doing shit like this again. Put that effort in, girl, then I repay you. Crash that thing out the park, now I feel like Babe Ruth, baby. This shit I can't do, baby. No, I can't move, baby. Nothing I can't prove, baby. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into